Can we sell one log for $400? Let me explain. Alright guys, welcome back to Cabin View Ventures. I think I have bored you enough the last couple of weeks with some work I've been doing around the garden. So today we are back to firewood production. I got to get through this. I got to get this area cleaned up because I have some temporary storage I want to set up down here for the equipment so I can get back to work on firewood storage that I need to build. But the first thing I got to do is get through. I probably have about 2 cords of wood down here that need split and stacked. So the focus of today is just getting as much of this done as possible. Now, in my intro, I talked about turning a log, a simple log like this, which you're going to have many of these in your log yard, but selling this one log for $400. It sounds crazy, but people are doing it. So I was actually eating lunch the other day, and my wife came to me with this ad from Etsy, and it's called a stump log, or it's called a stump table, and people are selling these stump tables for $400, starting at $400, and that's just for a small average size log. So this piece of oak right here is 15 inches in diameter and 16 inches tall, and those are the ones that are selling for $400. I'll put a little picture of it in here somewhere so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now there's a little bit of work you have to do, obviously, to finish these and make them look like a finished piece of furniture. So the first thing you need to do is debark it, which we're gonna do this. We're gonna do a little test on this log and see how easy it is to prep this. Well, we're also gonna split this down into firewood, and we're gonna see how many pieces of firewood we can get out of this, because I should be able to get just enough to fill a firewood bag, which I sell for $7. You know, a nice premium oak firewood bag or firewood bundle. You know, I'm selling in my roadside stand for $7 a piece, which is a pretty good price. You know, that's pretty average for what you're gonna find out there. But the biggest thing you're gonna have to do to these when you want to turn them into a stump table, I don't know why they're calling them stump tables, because they're not stumps. I mean, they're just literally just a log from the tree, not even the stump. You know, the lower part, like this is a piece of poplar right here. And this, we might actually do this one too and try it out, because this would look really cool as a stump table because you have some knots on it. It's a good color, so you'll be able to stain. These are lighter than oak, so you could stain them really whatever color you want. And poplar is much bigger. So this round right here is about 21 inches across, 21 inches in diameter and 16 inches. Wow, this one's 15. This one's 15 inches. So these big guys are selling for $500 to $800 as a stump table, which is just mind-blowing to me. I mean, I can't imagine anybody that lives out in the country would buy something like that. I'm sure they don't. I'm sure this is more geared to maybe city living, or obviously somebody that's willing to spend an outrageous amount of money for a log. But we're gonna work on these two and see how much prep work it takes to get them ready. So the steps you would have to take, obviously, you know, cutting it down to the right size and having the right diameter, and then picking the right type of wood. I wouldn't use oak. I think this is chestnut oak. I wouldn't use this. I would probably use like a white oak or a black walnut would be preferable. Sizing, you know, you want to be on the smaller size of probably 14 inches in diameter, like 14 to 16 for that $400 range, and then 21 inches plus for the 5 to 6. Like I said, I saw some up to $800. But you're gonna take your log, you're gonna debark it, you're gonna sand it down so it looks nice, and then you need to have it kiln dried. So that's kind of the catch. You know, maybe you know somebody in your area that can, you know, has a kiln that can dry wood. But if you don't, and you need to find, you know, like a big lumber yard, they usually want a bulk order from you to do a batch for kiln drying. So you might need to put together, you know, I don't know, a whole bunch of these things to take over there for them to, for them to be willing to, you know, kiln dry a batch of logs for you. So you're gonna cut it down, you're gonna debark it, you're gonna kiln dry it, you're gonna sand it, then kiln dry it, and then you're gonna put a nice interior stain on it, and you're done. So let's debark these, see how they go, split them both down into firewood, because I'm not making stump tables. I wanna see how much firewood we get out of these and then compare the two. But just thought it might be a fun little project to add into my firewood production for today's video. So let's get to work. All right, I think you guys can see this okay. So I'm sure there's a better way to do this. We're just gonna like rough our way through this and see how it turns out. This is my Husqvarna carpenter's axe. This thing is great for, you know, doing kindling, debranching. It's got a really nice head on it, really nice forged head on it. Give you a close-up of that. And it is sharp. So really nice tool. I should probably start putting links to some of the stuff I use down in my description. You're gonna have to be careful doing this because you don't want to mark the wood. Now you're gonna sand it. So you're gonna be able to fix any small imperfections. This thing would definitely need some good finish work because it's one reason I might not use at least red oak. It's so wet inside. That's why it takes so long to dry out this firewood. Black walnut would probably be my preference. Or like I said, that poplar. I think that poplar is going to turn out really nice. about it for this one. That went pretty quick. So you just want to get the bark off. Obviously with something like this, you've got, you know, a little bit of fungus and mold growing on it, but that'll wash right off. I would power wash this thing and then let it dry out for a little while before you decide to get it kiln dried. You could probably even sand it down good before you have that done. Almost make kiln drying like that last step before you put your stain on it. But right there is a really nice, solid, heavy log that would make a pretty darn good stump table. So, and that'll clean up nice. You wash that down, you sand that really good, you know, you're gonna have a really nice looking finish to that log. You know, similar to, do I have one? This is, this might be the same. This is actually one I have here that I split a while ago. Right? So look at that. You know, you have a nice sand this down a little bit, you're gonna have a pretty nice finish. It actually looks really cool with the different shades of brown on it. So you can almost just do like a interior clear coat on this and have a pretty cool rustic looking stump table. So, all right, the poplar. Now, this guy's a whole lot bigger, but like I said, you got these cool knots on this thing. Let's make some room here. That's junk. How easy does poplar debark? Let's get this up on something. Our next step is going to be the splitter. Let's crack this guy in half. We just destroyed our $400 table. All right, can we pick this up? But this piece is pretty cool. You can cut these knots down nice and flush. maybe I can draw like something. Clean this up a little bit better. All right. So there it is. A debarked. Well, I don't know how you would ship these things too. You have to put them on a nice heavy pallet, and I'm sure they're not cheap to ship out. So maybe that's part of the price. I don't know if Etsy has free shipping or not. I guess it's probably a couple $100 to ship one of these things. All right. So poplar would definitely be a no-go. I would probably stick with like a white oak, or a black walnut would be really nice. Black walnut, that debarks really easy. It's much lighter, and it looks really good when you finish it, which is why it's used a lot in furniture making. So any good furniture type of wood, would work out well for making these stump tables. Jesus. Whew. Split our way around that knot. All right, let's split. All right, so here we are. We actually got a lot more firewood out of those 2 logs than I thought. That 21-inch log gave us 52 pieces of firewood, and that 16-inch log gave us 30 pieces of firewood. And I split my stuff a little bit smaller. It bundles nicer, it dries faster. They're still a good size. They're not too small, but this is how I like to sell my firewood. So out of these 30 pieces, like I said, I get, 12 to 14 pieces in a bundle. In a one, my bundles are closer to like 1¼ cubic feet. So, these 30 pieces are going to give me just over 2 bundles of firewood. I sell my bundles for $7 a piece, or 3 for $20. So there is $14 worth of bundle firewood right here for me. And then these 52 pieces, they're just shy of 4 bundles. 4 bundles I would sell for $27. So as you can see, there is clearly a lot more money that can be made in making and selling stump tables. You're gonna have a little more expense with paying somebody to kiln dry the wood if you need that done, or obviously paying for stain, but it's not gonna take much stain to finish one of them off. Now, obviously you're not going to be selling a ton of stump tables. I'm sure the market for them is not that big that you could live off of that alone. But more the point of this video is there is more money than you might think in your log yard. Besides firewood or furniture, there's a lot of other stuff you can make. You just have to find the ideas or be creative enough or skilled enough to make this stuff. But you'll see any kind of like rustic decor or rustic furniture is huge right now. And I mean, you could do stuff, as simple as making wood cookies that a lot of people like to use for, centerpieces for their weddings or any big events they have, cutting boards. There's all kinds of stuff you can make with just wood rounds, just slicing, maybe like 2-inch thick wood rounds off of some of your nice oak or locust firewood. A guy I've kind of become friends with on YouTube, Twin City Firewood. Hope he doesn't mind me giving him a little plug here, but he does these really nice snowman figurines in the wintertime. They sell them around Christmas, and those are really cool looking, pretty simple to make. And you just have to be, creative enough to paint them so they look nice. But they are a really nice product that he makes and sells that you're going to make a lot more money as opposed to splitting that wood into firewood. So we're going to wrap things up for today. I'm actually going to end up doing 2 videos today because I got to get a lot of this wood split, like I said earlier. So I'll do a second video on just splitting firewood. So if you like to just kind of zone out and watch some firewood splitting and stacking, keep an eye out for the next video I have. But thanks for joining me today. I appreciate you guys being here. Love the questions and comments, and I will see you on the next one.